Looking forward to it, and it'll be interesting. But Jim, turn it back over to you here because you had what I can only describe to be one of my personal favorite little go-tos in a pinch: fried bologna sandwich on
Ugh.
What's Cooking the other day.
You don't like the sound of that, Rebecca?
No, I don't. Fried bologna.
You've never heard of a fried
I've
bologna
never
sandwich?
tried it.
Excuse me. There might
I
be
feel
nothing.
like oh my gosh, Jim, I'm always ranking on you. This is the second time you've done something, and I've really been nasty.
Well, the first one was salmon.
I know.
So I don't know.
I'm so sorry.
But yeah, fried bologna is probably one of the most underrated things if done right. And
Thank you.
It also brings me back to my childhood. My grandma Sinacropi used to make me
Aw.
fried bologna sandwiches, and back then it was just the Oscar Mayer or whatever your general grocery store bologna would be with some white bread and mayonnaise. But so good. This one is kicked up a little bit more. I used Lebanon sweet bologna, which you can get at Wegmans, which is really, really delicious. So, yeah, if we want to play it, I'll talk right over the top of it. Here's the bologna I was talking about. Sweet Lebanon bologna. And
So
then,
is that any different? I don't mean to interrupt right away. Is that any different than other kind of, I guess, traditional?
yeah,
I
it's
guess,
more like
sweeter
the old
bolognas
Pepperidge
or-
Farm or Hickory
Okay.
Farms gift box
Oh,
meat,
okay.
kind of, but it is bologna. And they make a non-sweet version too that's good if you don't want it to be so sweet. But basically here, just prepping what's going to be some of the toppings to go inside that sandwich, just peppers and onions. And I had some jalapenos coming up next. And
You keep the seeds in them.
yeah. And I actually made this last Sunday before the NFC Championship game. So right when kickoff started, I sat down with this sandwich and enjoyed the game. But yeah, I'm gonna just like I say, prep up the toppings, peppers and onions. Go good on almost any sandwich. And those jalapenos aren't as spicy as you'd think as they're going in right now. Once they're cooked down, they lose a little bit of that heat that you'd have if you ate them raw. So we just saute them down. And then we start to butter some bread. Had some rosemary sourdough bread.
So far, I'm liking the way this looks. This is right up my alley so far.
Yeah, I mean, I make a lot of stuff, and this is as good as anything, in my opinion. I really enjoyed this sandwich. So now we basically just set this stuff aside because we're going to cook the bologna in the same pan and put a few whole slices in and then tear up a few more just for better surface area on the pan. And you can see it already starts to bubble up. Also, those full slices, they bubble up a little bit, and then fold over. So you got to kind of use your fingers to straighten them out every now and then to get some even cooking. But I also like to cook it down really good and get a little char on there. Which with some of the, I guess, lower quality bologna, it doesn't taste so good when it burns. This stuff kind of caramelizes when it burns. So there's the bread going underneath the broiler to toast, the buttered side up, and then add a little honey, why not, to the bologna. And you can see it is starting to really get a little bit of char on it and cook down really good. Smelled really good. Doesn't take long to make this. So out goes the bologna. I put it right on top of the peppers and onions in the same bowl for convenience. And then I take the bread out of the oven and put the non-buttered side down flat to cook those so you can see how that comes out. And then we assemble the sandwich, which I got some pepper jack cheese right there, some pretty thick slices, and then some mayonnaise, Hellmann's. I like Miracle Whip too, but I only had Hellmann's in the fridge, so we went with just your standard mayonnaise. If you wanted to kick it up a notch, you could have made a little aioli or a little more better dressing, but there's enough flavor in this as it is, so the mayonnaise is just fine. Mustard goes good too, but so there it goes on top. The meat first, and then peppers, onion mix next. Pile it up pretty high, and then we'll grate some Parmesan Reggiano over the top.
Wow, this is gourmet.
And then some pickles, sweet pickles, straight out of the jar. sweet dill pickles. And then I think we just kind of flatten it out and cut it in half. Crunch. Oh man, yeah, I'm remembering how good this was. And then I was look at that. That is a good sandwich.
That does look really good.
And so out of the plate, then into my recliner and ready for some football. And that didn't last long. Not necessarily something I'd consider health food. I put some Tostitos chips in the middle with some tiger sauce on top too. Not really the prettiest garnish, but you get the idea. That's a sandwich, or as I like to call it, a sandwich.
Sandwich.
Now that by far, just, I mean, I want to try one. I could go probably without the pickles. I'm not a pickle guy.
Not a pickle guy.
That by far beats the fried bologna sandwiches I do, which is just like Jim, like you kind of mentioned at the top, where we get the bologna from Sauder's.
Okay.
I can't remember what it is now off the top of my head. It used to be Sugardale, but they don't have Sugardale anymore.
Yeah, no, that's fine too. But if you overcook it,
I just do the I chop it, not chop it, but like I do the
big strips.
Yeah, I do like the strips, make sure it doesn't. I just go mustard on and I just let it ride.
Yeah, no, that's fine too. That's the nice thing about the bologna is the star. So you know, I didn't need to do all that extra stuff. I could have just put the bologna on the bread and not even toasted the bread, and that would have been good too. But
Stand corrected, Jim. It looks delicious.